would be, I mean, depending on how you look at it. There were times, and I thought this was really cool, and I didn't know, this was 5-6 years ago when we were, really courting this certain potential partner, and you'd be in a drive-through, and someone would pay in front of you, and then it was a fun little deal. And I paid for the group behind. You don't know you have no idea what they ordered. So it could be $22, it could be $120. You just don't know. But it was a fun little deal. And then I found out later from some people that work at this place that it's a huge pain in their tuchus.
Yeah,
that you
it
do
is.
it this way.
So
this way is a little bit different. I don't necessarily know. I get it. I think from a business standpoint, you don't want to be throwing free points around. But let's be honest. It takes like 10 subs to get a free kids sub. It's not like they're firing these.
Right.
It's not like the old days remember the old place where it would have a ring and you'd spin the coupons out and then they'd tape them to your card. I'm not going to tell you what the name of it is. It's the longest established sub joint. It's been all the place. But I can just remember my mom, we'd go up to Marshfield and we'd get a load of these deals and then they'd just fire these tickets at you and you'd have to you'd have to lick them and put them on the thing, and then you'd bring the cart. Yes. Yeah. That's fun.
I don't remember that. I didn't go to the big city of Marshfield for my subs. I wasn't aware of that. So, ultimately, how far away are you? Because I do want to get a plug in for our partner, Cousin Subs. You rack up the points pretty quick, and they have special days where it's double points day. That's always a highlight.
We need to get them over on the west side of Madison too. I know they have a great spot in Sun Prairie, but that's. I think this is something I'm going to pitch Justin on this. I think we could do a December to remember type deal.
Justin McCoy, our friend, our VP of marketing over at Cousin Subs, is listening going, yeah, that's a great idea, Tausch. Let's see if we can give away more free subs to people after people who don't join our rewards club don't get the points. We'll just give them away to other people.
In that. Whoa. I am in that because we're whatever reason, we are a sub-eating crew.
I know you're a member.
But you're not
smart
giving
that way.
You're not giving it away. And actually what this would probably do and why I think this works for the business. It's going to be great for your existing customers. But it's also going to, if I'm this gal, if I had done this in front of her and said, I'll take your points. I can't do that. I just went to the cashier. But all of a sudden that gal's probably
it's sketchy.
No, I thought it was IPT. 100%. Yeah, hand up. I told you that in the beginning.
Good. All right, just want to make sure.
But it also would probably, if I'm that lady with the kid and ordering these subs, I'm probably thinking, why am I not a member? Old boy why wouldn't I be a member?
Yeah,
so you're actually hiring salespeople to sell your card to them by doing it this way.
Sure.
And it's not, it's organic.
Peer
It is beautiful. Yeah, that's not pressure. It's just man, I'll tell you what, I've had 15 free subs because I signed up for this club, blah, 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 blah.
So why did you choose to wait until the young mom left to bring up the idea of taking her points as opposed to doing it in front of her, which would have executed your idea of being basically a free salesperson unpaid for that sub shop?
I hadn't thought through the whole thing, and I would have not even thought of it. I mean, I've literally been at this place 100 times, and I've never thought of this whole process. And then
how many free subs have you gotten?
Not enough. I can tell you that, not enough. When you go, and after the cashier was like, "Oh, you want to sign up? You'll have whatever amount of points," and there was no, I'm good. That's when I started wondering, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Now I start thinking. I do think you should say that to him. Well, if you don't want them, I do think, and Dennis and Plover's right. If you paid for the sandwiches, no doubt. I don't know. I'm going to ask. I'm going to go in. I have another trial run, probably Monday or Wednesday of next week. I will run this through, and I will buy the sandwiches, and I'll report back if they give me the points. That is a great idea.
That's the season of giving right there. That is Wilde and Tausch bringing people together over sub sandwiches and rewards clubs. All right. I have another IPT question briefly because you mentioned and it tripped my memory bank. You get a free kids sub potentially, not a real full-fledged sub. Is it IPT to order a kid's meal as an adult? Is that also on the IPT list? Or is that perfectly legal? Even though it's supposed to be for 12 and under.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Jesse?
None.
Not a problem at all. We did it on Tuesday night.
Okay.
There you go.
Good. I feel better about my own choices now.
In fact, we went to a certain establishment that may or may not have been referenced already on this show, and one of us got a kid's meal and one of us got a regular meal, and we compared the sizes, and they were very similar.
Oh, burn.
Did it have a blue roof?
Might have.
It was dark. I'll tell you what. There is. Max has gotten. So we got Max a phone, which that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh boy, that'll be a good off-season topic.
And there are so many fast food hacks that it is a rabbit hole you can't stop.
What?
Going down?
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
It is. Like all of these different restaurants, you can do all these deals and then figure out ways to hack. They call them hacks. I don't know. I just got into this, so I'm going to start going down this rabbit hole, and I might start doing digi-only fast food hacks like this young influencer.
I love it. Yes, Tausch's takeout hacks.
Tausch versus the man.
I don't even know who's the man.
Big fast food. Big fast food.
Here's all the loopholes you need to get your value meals even cheaper.
Old T's loophole on Wilde and Tausch. Did she only? There are no loopholes, just great deals from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed, ensure your home remains comfortable before we reach the brutal post-holiday winter. And yes, old Santa Claus, he is magical, but his elves are not. Boy, that's so harsh.
I don't understand why they say that about the elves.
Why are we taking out the elves like that?
Well, because
what do they do?
The bottom line is you're building a high-quality product. You don't want some little elf screwing up the screws and not getting everything done right. You got to have Pella Windows and Doors. There's just too many options and customizations for those poor little elves. So instead of going through the big red fella, take advantage of this Pella deal. Get as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends December 31st. Visit PellaWI.com to learn more.
Isn't the big red fella, he's basically just the delivery guy, right? He takes the orders and he delivers them. The elves are the ones that do all the work. They're the ones making the bikes and the toys that the kids are getting. I think the elves are getting a bad rap here. Next time Alex Della swings by the house here, I'm going to ask him if he'd consider hiring some more elves.
The magical big red fella is like the figurehead.
He's running a sweatshop.
He's taking the credit for what everybody else is doing?
Maybe.
Dang. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Wow.
I guess I know what list I'm on now.
Gutsy move.
Do we know what's the deal with? Is it Sneaky Pete? I just remember as a kid.
What's the deal with Sneaky Pete? What?
Well, that's coming up next. Yeah, Sneaky Pete. We've had this discussion every year at Christmas. I just remember going over in grade school. Sneaky Pete came, and I just remember Sneaky Pete had a whip. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Sneaky Pete was Saint Nick.
I'm gonna text. It's my older brother. And I don't know. He works, so he's a podcaster.
He works.
So I don't know. Maybe my mom, if you remember, send me a text about Sneaky Pete at Auburndale Elementary back in the mid '80s. Something goofy happened with Sneaky Pete. I don't know if Sneaky Pete is just I don't know if that's a standard character in the Christmas scene or if this is a one-off. I don't know.
We might be unlocking something we don't want to here.
We'll
true.
find out more. Even if we don't want to, about Sneaky Pete. Look, I don't want to get too sidetracked here because you had an interview with Jeff Grimes, the new offensive coordinator for the Badgers, that is very interesting, and I would like to get to that sometime after the legend of Sneaky Pete, which could be next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Jesse Nelson here. I don't know anything about Sneaky Pete, but I do know a lot about Madison Weight Loss. And right now, you can take advantage of the lowest price of the year, the huge holiday sale going on with the team at Madison Weight Loss. I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat over the span of 60 days simply by changing my diet and following the Madison Weight Loss program. Now is your chance to lock in your program before the end of the year, December 31st. Schedule a free consultation online, MadisonWeightLoss.com. You can also meet in person, too, at their office on the west side of Madison if you want to. And then you can start that program after the holidays. Understandable. It's difficult to get the program started before the holidays. You can lock in the price before December 31st to get started in January when everyone's focusing on how to get more healthy and to lose the weight that you're looking to shed in 2025. Lock in the rate right now. Almost 20% off with Madison Weight Loss. Again, MadisonWeightLoss.com, where you schedule that free consultation in person or virtually before December 31st. MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle it as best you can to be the best.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
If the NFL playoffs started today, spoiler alert, they don't, the 6-seeded Green Bay Packers would play at the 3-seeded Seattle Seahawks in Wild Card Weekend, just like they do Sunday night. Head coach Matt LaFleur sheds a light onto how much of a playoff preview he views Sunday night as.
I do think every opportunity for you to go on the road, I think, can harden you and make you better. And you got to be super dialed in all three phases, and that's why I was talking about the detail.
Playoff preview or not, it's Packers at Seahawks, Sunday Night Football on NBC.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 200 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states and is the best place to get real money sports action. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 line. That's right. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 line. Prize Picks. Run your game.
The little one just took her first steps. Her stride? Wobbly.
Oh my gosh, she's doing
Her parents? Oh boy, here we go. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. So while you're monitoring and protecting her every move, you can do the same for your credit score too. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
This fire is nice.
Well, I'm not making a lot of progress in my search for the Christmas legend of Sneaky Pete.
Yeah, I have not gotten any texts either yet, so either my mom is not listening or she doesn't have a clue what Sneaky Pete's all about.
Apparently there's some sort of show in the Dells, Sneaky Pete's Christmas show. Apparently an offshoot of Sneaky Pete's Wild West show.
If there's whips involved, I don't know if I want to go to that.
It's not my kind of place.
Again, my memory is not always perfect, as you guys point out to me on a regular basis, but I just recall something of that ilk.
So we'll continue to do some research. Hopefully Helmut or Diane will get back to us on this, because I'm not going to lie, my interest is piqued. Like, I'm familiar with St. Nicholas and his arrival every December 5th. Certainly the big red guy, sweatshop owner of the North Pole.
The
his
elf
arrival,
on the shelf, is that like what Sneaky Pete is?
No.
It's a great question.
No,
That's the
like
next
that
one I was going to list, Jesse.
It's a fair question, but it's nothing like that at all.
It has some overtones that I'm not especially comfortable with, I have to say.
Sneaky Pete?
Yeah, it just sounds dirty.
Just from what we've heard thus far.
It just does. It just does.
Hey,
And
your
then
mind could
whips.
be in. Hey, your mind can be in a gutter. That's fine.
Doesn't
It doesn't mean
sound
everybody
very-
else's has to join you.
It doesn't sound childlike.
Doesn't sound as family friendly as Rudolph is all.
Maybe it was just Pete. I don't know. Maybe he just was. I don't know. I'm going to try to gather information, and if I get some, I will pass it back to you.
And
I thought this was a thing back in the 70s and 80s.
And
Maybe I'm
by
wrong.
try to gather information, what you mean is wait for texts from your mom and your brother.
Correct.
Okay. So this is what happens on this show. We were going to talk about Bill Belichick going back to college by taking over as the head football coach at North Carolina. But instead, we got Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete's is definitely a bar in New Orleans. I believe it's
Well,
right
Mike,
near
is Green Bay going to be down there? Is Jason going to be able to go to Sneaky Pete's as the Packers are tussling in the Superdome down there in February? I can't imagine Jason ever going to Sneaky Pete's. But
No, I go to the old absentee house. I think it's still there.
Oh.
All right, I want to get to this because I am intrigued. Because, first of all, some news which I don't know if I've ever seen this in the transfer portal era. Tell me if I'm wrong. How many times does someone enter the transfer portal and transfers to the school that they were transferring from? Trech Kekahuna, after tweeting out all the offers he got, returns back to Madison and will be a Badger once more. Tausch, I took this as, well, this Jeff Grimes guy, I like the sound of what his offense is going to be. The offers I got from these other schools did not appeal to me as much as playing at Wisconsin again, and I'm back, baby. I just took this
that's
as
how
a.
you took it?
I took it as
That's
a
how you
tacit.
took it?
Yeah, how do you take it?
I take it as maybe the offer got upped. That's how I would take it. Now, I don't know that.
Oh, I wanted to
I
believe
think
it
this
was
portal
more football
is
related.
this portal is being utilized by players to increase their value. That's what this is being done. That's why people are going in the portal. And it's not just, it's a bad fit. Sometimes coaches
like
will say to the
holding
player,
out, like Al Harris holding out during the
well,
offseason.
Of course. Are you Are you faking naivete?
No, I'm not. I really.
Come on, dude.
I really am this naive.
No, I don't think
one,
you are. I honestly,
am.
as you were saying that, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm sure Jeff Grimes, who's a nice fella, I'm sure he came in and said, we're going to do this. Now, that is always going to be a part of things, but come on now. You're 30 years into this.
Well,
come
no,
on.
I'm not 30 years into the NIL era.
Yes,
I'm
but
still
Jason,
thinking,
the NFL
no,
and why the Belichick move, it is becoming the NFL.
You're 100% right to criticize me for my naivete. I
just don't know if
that,
Jesse, do you buy that Jason's that naive? He's like Robert Herjavec on Shark Tank. That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, we're in the bowl season now. He still loves the bowl games. He loves the integrity
That's true.
of
He's a
college
Bowl
sports.
Fest guy. That is true.
So I believe he actually.
Thank you, Jesse. I totally fell
You
for the banana
really
template.
believe
I did.
that Jason didn't put two and two together?
God, I did not until
Okay.
you said the offer was upped. That never entered my mind. I swear to you, and that's a critique
Jason,
of me.
I might be
That's
wrong.
pathetic.
I might be wrong, but I ain't.
I don't think there's nothing wrong every year. Why wouldn't a college football player at the end of a season put their name in the transfer portal?
We have to do
Because
something
Jason,
about
Jesse,
this.
here's the deal. Because if you do, the team can then, and all of a sudden, as happens to many portal kids, you can go through, and there's a lot of Wisconsin Badgers on this list that you end up going somewhere, you don't get the offers that you think you're going to get. You know? So there's a risk factor that goes into going into the portal.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tretch felt like, and he had a bunch of other teams offering him and all this other stuff. So you have to know kind of your value and where you're at. And there's a lot of guys that just want to get their fair market value where they're at. So that's why you wouldn't, Jesse. But I get anytime you can assert leverage when it comes to negotiating, you better do it. And I think that's what this is. That's what we're noticing and learning in this new era of college football that I think a lot of people just flat out don't like.
So I didn't actually know it worked this way. So like Braden Locke goes into the transfer portal yesterday. So Braden Locke goes into the portal, and if the only offer he gets is for a couple of pennies from Maine, he can't just say, you know what, never mind, I'm going right back to Wisconsin where I was doing my thing. It's out, and he has to renegotiate everything.
Deuces.
Huh.
Deuces. Yeah.
So then Tretch decides, I don't like these offers.
No, Jason, just think through. You do it in a day. What do you think happens? Come on.
Well, it was more than a day. He was out there for a little while.
It was like a day and a half. Maybe. I mean, obviously, there's always stuff leading up to things,
right.
and I'm sure you get your representatives to put that. So I'm just amazed that you've covered the NFL for 30 years, and you are shocked.
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
I am shocked there's gambling in this. I am shocked there's gambling in this casino.
This establishment.
Well, what is that? That's from Casablanca, right?
Casablanca, yes. Well done. All right. First of all, the NFL doesn't work this way because the NFL has contracts. I can't say in the second year of my contract. Right, I understand. And that, in my defense, Jordan Love can't say, yeah, thanks for the $55 million, but I'm entering the transfer portal.
But, Jason, he could say, I ain't stepping on the field in July until I get a new deal.
Right, he can do that. What he can't do
That's what, in essence, these guys are doing.
He can't negotiate with other teams, and then when he doesn't get what he wants, come back to the Packers. That's the problem here.
True.
And my naivete notwithstanding, they have to do something. Because while I am happy for Tretch and I like him as a player, and it's great if this is the case and it wasn't just, woo, I love this RVO offense, I'm coming back. It's great if he got a little more scratch. This should not be the way you can do it. You should not be able to opt out every year, if this is the case, to up your ante from the team that you are already on. You just shouldn't be able to do it. There should be contracts now. If we want to make it like the NFL, you got the greatest coach in NFL history now in college football, which I'm a little confused by because, of course, Belichick's going that direction when all these other head coaches are heading into pro ranks to get away from the nonsense that is
I had
this.
a great couple of quotes on Rutledge and Hamilton yesterday that I think cover this
from you
really good. Yes.
It's called Jim, Matt, and Molly for the record. I know Molly's not there, but Jim,
Matt, Molly. That's my bad.
Quarter in the jar.
All right.
I'll give you a quarter. Can I get your points?
Only at certain establishments. All right, I want to hear what Barry Alvarez thinks, and then I want to hear this conversation that Tausch had with Jeff Grimes. I'm sure he touched on, hey, guys believe in your system. Look at this. Already Tretch Kekahuna's coming back. But before we do that, I want to remind you that if you need to make the call, make the call. I hope you never have to. I hope Gruber Law Offices never gets a call from you because that means you've never been injured in an accident. But if you have been and you need legal representation, there's only one call to make. To Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Go to the website, Gruber-Law, to find out more about the firm and about everything David does in our communities. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. We'll talk a little bit, with my naivete notwithstanding, about the Badgers' new-look offense and some thoughts on that. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churio, a high fly ball. Back, track, bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, yeah. I said, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing our bushels of fun.
So I've got a buddy who played at Kansas. His daughter and Sydney are friends. And then he's also a big Badgers fan. And I saw him at basketball over the weekend. And he
Grimes' kid plays there, too. Big kid. 6'6".
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Grimes' kid plays where?
Grimes' kid plays at Kansas. Offensive lineman.
And is he entering the transfer portal now that his dad is going to Wisconsin?
He left his son to go be the coach here?
Hey, sometimes you got to not everybody can be hovering. Let your kids breathe. Go play.
So I guess I don't want you to put your friend's business on the street, but Jackson Eck is a really good football player. I'm guessing that there are some teams in the FBS that would be happy to pay him to go play elsewhere. Would he leave his dad at Idaho to come and make
for the
some
right money? Absolutely, he would. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you? No, Jason. It's all about just football. It's not about money and all the other stuff. Nope, just about ball. Like
playing for your dad.
Old Herchie.
Playing for your dad.
I'm not gonna say anything else.
Okay. Let's just get to what Barry Alvarez thinks about this hire for the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. Anyway, my point was, and for the Badgers, I'm sorry, I say the Packers all the time. My point was, and he and I both know Lance Leipold. He is, my friend who went to Kansas, is torn because he believes Jeff Grimes is a really good coach, and it's going to be really good for Wisconsin's offense. But he would also like him to have stayed at his alma mater as opposed to just the school that he roots for because he's born and bred Wisconsinite. So he gave it a very good review at basketball over the weekend, and I'm curious what kind of review Barry Alvarez gave it on the Great Dane Huddle earlier this week.
Well, the two things fired me up, and you just said them. He's got a run game background, and he's got an O-line background. Those historically have been the strength of our program. We've won here, and we've put ourselves on the map in college football because of our run game and our offense, and led by our offensive line. So when I heard that, I was really excited. And that doesn't mean he has to run every snap, but a lot of the snaps he has to run. But no, I'm really excited about it. I don't know him personally. I read the resume. I like the numbers that he's put up where he's been.
He doesn't have to run on every snap, but he's got to run on a lot of them. What did you think of Barry's assessment?
So there's been some critique of Barry and how outspoken he's been, and obviously disappointed. You just know that it's coming from a place of a ton of pride and a ton of love for this school and what he built. And I think he was, we've played a bunch of his clips with Derek and Tark, and I think he understood and understands what has worked here in the past, and I think he thinks that that's the best way moving forward. And when you're looking at this hire, there is no doubt it is going to look different. To what degree, I don't know, because even in my interview with Jeff Grimes, it was kind of tough because he literally had been here a day. So he doesn't know all the personnel. He obviously is going to have his philosophies and his ideas on what he wants, but I'm guessing he wants to go and, jump in, watch a ton of film, and see what is going to be in the best interest of moving it. But he's an O-lineman at heart, and there is no doubt that's the road. He's very clear, and you'll hear the interview coming up. He's very clear that running an offense, doesn't matter, guns, under center, if you can run the football, everything else is going to work. And if you can't, it's going to make things really difficult. And I think that's his starting threshold. And there's no doubt Barry Alvarez, that is how he looked at it, even to a more degree than what obviously we've seen in the last couple of years.
All right, well, I can't wait to hear the conversation. I only have one question. When the interview was over, were you thinking, like Tito Beverage and Tito's Vodka, pour me in, coach, on this new offense?
You'll have to wait and see, but I'll say this. I was very excited after listening to what Coach Grimes had to say, From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit, stack a spicy bloody, salt the rim of a Tito Rita, or take home the win with a Tito's, and whatever your heart desires. You're calling the game. You change up your roster or wash that lucky jersey as long as you make Tito's your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
He got the first exclusive one-on-one interview with the new offensive coordinator. I'm not sure how he got it. Maybe there might have been a little bit of a connection there. I'm not sure. But he's the one who got the scoop, and we will hear it from the radio analyst's mouth. Is the interviewer going to join us, or are we just stuck with you?
What do you guys want?
I don't want you on your phone again.
Maybe let's get him closer to the championship game, I think. Curious for his insights then.
I think we could probably get a hold of the analyst, and I think he could jump on, post, give a little
He's too
recap.
busy. No, from what I hear, he's too busy trying to track down the legend of Sneaky Pete's Christmas.
Sounds like I must have been on some kind of a retreat because nobody has any clue what the hell I'm talking about. So, my bad.
Well, that's reassuring.
Rogers might
been
know.
One of those ayahuasca retreats. I missed out. That's where I saw that. I don't know.
The story of Mark Tauscher and Sneaky Pete's. Mark Tauscher and Jeff Grimes are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you and your loved ones a happy holiday season from Grassland Dairy. As you gather with friends and family to celebrate the season, remember that no holiday spread is complete without the pure and delicious taste of Grassland butter on your table. For toast, pancakes, dinner rolls, and everything in between, Grassland butter is the gift that keeps on giving. Grassland Dairy again extends a huge thank you to all of the hardworking dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin. Without them producing such high-quality ingredients, Grassland would not be able to deliver that pure and delicious flavor on your table that we've all come to know and love. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Since 1904, there's been no better product and no better taste than Grassland butter. Happy holidays from Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Time for Grimes. Jeff Grimes, officially Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator. The OC locked in on a balanced attack. He explains more in his sit-down with radio analyst Mark Tauscher, audio courtesy Badger Football.
If you can't run the football, then you become one-dimensional. And so I think that's where it starts, is running the football and establishing an identity that is based on that and a rugged mentality about how you're going to do it. Once you establish that, then the vertical passing game comes to life, and then receivers will get excited about that.
Grimes brings in 30 years worth of coaching experience.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Prairie Athletic Club is the ultimate destination for health, wellness, and crushing your goals. This is Sarah Tauscher. Say goodbye to post-workout aches and pains at the Pack's new Recovery Zone. With their assisted stretch and pneumatic boot sessions, you can get instant results, leaving you feeling refreshed and ready to tackle your next workout. Don't believe it works? Give it a try. Stop in, stretch your body, and relax your mind at the Pack. Visit prairieathletic.com to learn more. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, community.
Kyle Walls here from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Norman, and you know I'm watching every snap this football season with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app in hand. With over 5 million people playing and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in. Make a play with just $1 or go big. Play their pick'em game, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Underdog has all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You make picks for a pick'em entry and choose if players will go higher or lower when it comes to their stats. Maybe it's Jordan Love higher than 250 passing yards, or even Travis Kelce under 1.5 touchdowns. You can even win when you lose with Underdog's Double Flex option. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com, sign up using promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code KBN, and join me and millions of others and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit ncpgambling.org.
The 608 basketball tournament returns Friday, December 13th and Saturday, December 14th at Madison College. Come experience the best showcase of high school basketball in the Madison area. 2 games Friday night, 4 games Saturday. Purchase tickets at 608basketball.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
All right. Before we play any of the, now this is just a portion of your otherwise lengthy conversation.
So
with
I don't
him?
know. No, I don't know. So we had probably 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously,
Okay.
it was kind of his welcome day. He had to do pictures and all this other stuff. So
pictures.
I don't know. Well, yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Did you
Yeah,
get your
just
picture
kind of the
taken with him?
rolling out. No, I didn't. Well, yeah, I did. Jesse just put it up. The rolling out, but the Wisconsin football put up, I think, 8 minutes or 8 or 9 minutes on their website.
Okay.
And, then I basically asked, well, can we run the rest of it? Because there's some other stuff that I found really interesting about the quarterback position, about his coaching staff, and all of the other stuff that I think a lot of Badger fans and Wisconsin sports fans would find really interesting. So I don't know if we got all of that, but Jesse, I think you got the most of it. I think we got the vast majority of what it is, and I think our fans will find it really interesting.
So, Jesse, how much of this conversation are we actually playing?
This is the full extended cut per Tausch's request. This is the whole deal. So we got 14 minutes to sit back and enjoy from the Badgers radio analyst.
Does Tausch swear at any point, like I had in an interview or two, where you had to bleep it out or delete it from my from the audio?
I hope not, because I did not preview the entire thing. So I'm going to hear some of this for the first time along with you.
That's very shocking that you didn't. Yeah,
shock value.
You're playing it basically blind?
Yeah, he has no idea.
I'm trusting old T.
Yeah, there's nothing looked at. Yeah, it's a hell of an operation we got going here. Well, with that, let's run the tape.
All right, here we go. Here is Mark Tauscher, Badgers radio analyst, with new Badgers offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes.
Welcome to Coach Jeff Grimes. We're excited to have you. I guess the first question, what attracted you to come to Wisconsin?
I guess just the history, the tradition of this place, and it being a place that I think kind of fits me and what I've always believed in terms of football. Coach Fickle, who I didn't know prior to this time, made a strong appeal to who I am as a coach and what's going on here and the direction that the program is headed. And so I think it was, I guess, sort of a confluence of those two things, the history and the past and the tradition and just sort of the blue collar, gritty attitude that's made Wisconsin football what it is, combined with Luke and his personality and his vision for making the program even more of that.
So what was that first conversation like with Luke?
Interesting, because if you're in this business, of people often, even if you don't know them. We talked a little bit, and as we got to know each other a little bit, I think we both realized before long that it seemed like we We aligned philosophically in terms of the game. But one thing I really appreciated, any conversation like that, there's the mandatory small talk up front, right? Hey, I don't know you, you know me, you know this guy. And then there was a brief pause. And then I thought, okay, he's about to go for it here. He's going to start digging into me as a coach and find out what I'm about. And instead he said, tell me about your family. And, yeah, my wife too. And, oh yeah, me too, with our kids. And so there was a personal touch there that I really appreciated.
Tell us a little bit about your family, because everybody wants to know more about what makes you tick.
Certainly my family is a big part of that. My wife and I have been married for 30 something years. I know I should know, but I got
30 and some
32.
change.
32. All right. 32 years. She was an athlete in college as well. As a matter of fact, she played volleyball at Texas A&M, and so she's the real athlete. I just tell most people I contributed size to the gene pool. But she's been awesome. She's an unbelievable coach's wife and gets athletics, and at times is even more competitive maybe than I am. It has been great to just be with me, not just with me, but in this with me all along the way. I mean, she's always been one that's, made food for the players, enjoyed having them over to the house and all that. And then 4 kids. Oldest daughter, Bailey. My wife's name is Sherry. Oldest daughter is Bailey, who played college volleyball, like my wife, is now teaching in her first year as a teacher and club volleyball coach. I've got 2 sons who play college football. My oldest son is about to graduate from Baylor. He's been a long snapper there. And then my youngest son, who was probably destined to be an offensive lineman most of his life, but fooled himself into thinking he might be a defensive lineman or tight end for a while. And then when he got to college at University of Kansas, we moved him to offensive tackle. And so he's redshirting and learning how to zone step and pass set and all that kind of stuff. And then we have a daughter who's a sophomore in high school, Jada, who is also a volleyball player.
Kind of want to get the scouting report on how you evaluate your kid at Kansas. That might be, we'll do that another time. So what's your basic philosophy about offense?
Well, I think identity is a huge thing. Whether you're talking about a person, I mean, there are things that if somebody said, hey, describe Tausch to me, somebody tell me about Mark, what's he all about? And they would start talking about your personality and who you are. The same thing should be true of an organization, a company, a church, or an offense. And so I think it's a great question to start with. I'd like to say that if people watched us, they would see a tough, physical brand of football that is balanced in a number of different ways. And balance can mean a lot of different things. It can mean the difference between run pass, running inside versus running on the perimeter, short to intermediate passing game versus the vertical passing game. But to me, more than anything, it's just maintaining an unpredictability. If the defense feels like we might do any number of things in any situation, then I feel like we've maintained the advantage that the offense should have, right? So that means if it's 3rd and 10 and we run the football, then we're taking the game back into our hands in terms of being unpredictable. If it's 4th and 1 and we'll actually throw the ball deep, then again, it gives us the opportunity, I think, for the best success possible. So when I talk about balance, that's what I talk about. And so, I don't want receivers to feel like, hey, this guy's an O-line guy and all we're going to do is run the football. I want them to be really excited about what we're going to do in the throw game too. And, if you're good, one of the things I always say, and I'm sure you feel this way too, if you can run the football, then you can do anything. Mm-hmm. If you can run the football, then everything else is going to work. If you can't run the football, then you become one-dimensional. And so I think that's where it starts, is running the football and establishing an identity that is based on that and a rugged mentality about how you're going to do it. Once you establish that, then the vertical passing game comes to life, and then receivers will get excited about that.
Not getting into all the weeds of it, but tight ends, fullback, is it going to be more under center? How do you view, I know you just got here, but just kind of your initial philosophy on that?
I think it depends on your personnel, what those guys do best. There have been times in the last few years where we've been under center a fair amount, and then there have been times where we weren't under center much at all, and that depends on a number of factors, more than anything the quarterback and what he's most comfortable doing. And I think there are a lot of advantages to getting under center, but you give away some things as well. Take away some of the things that might be threats otherwise. 12 personnel, yes. 13 personnel, yes. 10 personnel, yes. I don't like to use the term pro style because that carries with it a certain mindset, just like air raid or spread does. I would say we're an NFL style offense. We play like most NFL teams do. And so if you watch Sunday football, we will look more like that than what we will probably most college teams look like. And so that means a variety in terms of personnel groups, a variety in formations, a lot of presentation, pre-snap shift and motion that hopefully provides an advantage for us.
And you've had a little bit, just your history, Andy Reid, Mike Sherman, who I have a deep appreciation for. You're an O-line guy, and this is a school that takes a lot of pride in its offensive line. What have you kind of learned a little bit about from the offensive line part, and then how much of that I'm assuming is going to be a key piece to how you do implement your offense?
Well, hopefully that's where everything starts. And what I always tell our linemen is, you're the key to all this working. And most coordinators, most play callers, especially in the college game, and this is a recruiting ploy that works with offensive linemen, right? But most of those guys think of you as an afterthought, just let me do my thing with all the skill guys and, get the ball to our playmakers in space, and you guys just don't screw it up. And I look at it just the opposite. Whatever we can do up front will allow us to have success. And the ability for those guys to do their job gives everybody else a chance to do theirs. And, I've moved a bunch of times in this profession, and I think about it like this often. When a moving company, typically a school will move our family for us. And so a moving company comes in and, there's people everywhere doing all kinds of stuff. And then at some point, somebody's got to move the couch or somebody's got to move the refrigerator, right? And so, hey, John, Jimmy, come here. No, y'all got to move this, because there's only 2 guys in the moving crew who are qualified to do that thing, right? To do the heavy lifting. And there's only 2 guys who can do that. All the other guys can do a lot of other things, and those guys could do those things too, but they have a special skill set that allows them to do something different. And I think that's what it's like for the offensive lineman.
Oh, all right. Well, can you explain the origins? And we've heard a lot about this RVO. I had to look that up. You did that at Baylor, correct? And then what does that all mean? And what is that something, after you kind of take a look at the personnel, something that you hope to bring here?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I think certainly the mentality that comes with that. Yes. It was really just an acronym that we used. It was a play on words, or not even words, but as opposed to RPO, which we did some RPO and we will, but everybody does RPO. It stood for reliable, violent offense. And my thing was, there are a lot of cool plays, a lot of ways to score points, and throwing RPOs is certainly part of that, but it's really not about the plays, it's about how you run the plays, and it's about your mentality. And if you can be reliable and you play with a violent, aggressive attitude, then you'll have the opportunity to win a lot of games. And really, to me, that's what's behind it all. It's toughness over tactics, it's will over skill. That's the starting point. And then you build the plays around that mentality.
And that's not just linemen, that's every position.
That's absolutely everybody. How often you see a run break and then it gets tackled for a 15-yard game because the backside receiver didn't do anything. That backside receiver, on the other hand, if he chases down the backside safety, he might spring that 15-yard gain for a 65-yard touchdown play. So it absolutely applies to everybody. You'd hope your quarterback is one of the toughest guys on the team, and you would hope that your running backs run with a physical mentality. And yeah, certainly. It's about every position that straps that helmet on.
And everybody always wants to talk about quarterback. You saw quarterback, injury this year. What are the big attributes you're looking for? And for me, I'm just curious, the mobility piece of it, that's huge in college football. What are you looking for when you're trying to find a quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's huge in any football. Now, there aren't many teams that are playing with guys back there who are stuck in one place. That's not the way the game is going. I've played with some guys who are more mobile or less mobile, but I think they've got to be able to get out of trouble, and they've got to be able to present some form of run threat to the defense at some point. Some certainly more than others. But if you're not doing that, then I think you're giving one piece of the game to the defense. And so certainly we would like a guy that's got some athleticism, and that can mean a number of different things. But want a guy that's going to be tough, a guy that's going to be a really strong leader, and a guy that you're going to, I don't know, I hope that guy would be a guy that you feel when you watch him, like you feel his passion for the game, you feel his energy, and I don't know. I just think when you watch a guy play the game that loves the game and loves his team, you kind of feel it.
What are you thinking passing-wise? Is it going to be, I know you're probably thinking everything, but vertical, and what are you looking for in the pass game?
I would say you probably see a little bit more play action, a little bit more vertical passing game maybe than what a number of teams in college would typically employ. And, I think that plays along with being a team that's going to be good at running the ball. And so, again, I think that's the thing that hopefully excites receivers about being in this game or in this style of offense, because every receiver wants to go deep, right? I mean, catching a slant and a hitch and all that kind of stuff is cool, but nothing's as cool as catching a go ball or a home run post.
Run game, gap, scheme, zone scheme. Is it going to be a little bit of everything, or are you predominantly zone? What's your philosophy on that?
Yeah, I think it would be a little premature to answer that. I will say that over the last number of years, I've become a really big believer in wide zone and the ability that it gives you to run the football in all situations, whether it's 4th and 1 or 3rd and 8. And so I know that will be a part of what we do, but I think gap schemes and pin and pull, all that stuff has been a part of what I've done. And, how much we do will depend on the personnel and what those guys do best.
And what about your staff so far on the offensive side of it? Have you know most of the guys? Have you getting to know them? Blas and Casey and that crew?
Didn't until they all showed up at my house the other night, which was pretty cool.
Did you put together a spread? Or
my wife fed them. My wife did feed them. Yeah, so that was fun. I think they enjoyed that. Yeah, but it seemed like a great group of guys. I get the feeling that they're guys who love ball and are really excited about this next chapter.
And before we let you go, just your excitement level about what this opportunity for you and kind of moving this offense forward into the future. What do you have to say to fans about what to expect to see when we line up both in the spring and then next fall?
I've just over the years I've watched this team and seen the way that it's played and have just admired it from afar. And there are a lot of places that I think you can go and probably have success doing any number of things on offense or defense and just sort of arbitrarily pick a system. And then there are some places where you go, yeah, that kind of fits that place, And so when I started talking with guys about this job, immediately there was, a sort of connection, a sort of fit down deep inside me that said, yeah, that's something I could get excited about. And so I think, they'll be excited, fans, everybody, players, probably more than any, I hope, about playing a rugged style of football that's going to give us an opportunity to score a bunch of points and win a lot of games.
Well, we're excited. Looking forward to kind of seeing how this thing all unfolds. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
That is new Badgers offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes with radio analyst Mark Tauscher. And I believe we've got Mark on the phone. Mark, I assume the only reason you did this interview is because Matt LePay was busy with basketball. How'd you think it went?
That's true. Matt was busy, and then there were a couple other people that were busy. And so the tricky part of it was you understanding he's been there a day or two, but just wanted to get an understanding of the philosophy because I think fans with the air raid, and we mentioned air raid. I don't know if that made the clip. He didn't want to kind of put a label on it.
He definitely did not want to put a label on it.
And that, I think, is, the pro style, and I think what Wisconsin has been really good at in the past. I don't know how it's all going to shake out. I think you have to look at all the personnel, but you definitely sensed he's an O-lineman. You sensed that piece that it's going to be bringing back, or not to say it wasn't in the past, but that physicality and trying to really establish that being the key piece. And then everything else comes off of that. That was that, and then I also thought it was really interesting the fact that him and Luke. This isn't Luke hiring an old buddy of his or anything. Like, I thought that was interesting too. So there's a lot of things that I found interesting. The quarterback, everybody wants to know: is that going to be a portal? Or are you going to go with young guys? We will see, and that will be the first. I think obviously quarterback coach, but then who you bring in. Or if you stick with the young guys, that's going to be the first big domino, in my opinion, to kind of see where we're at. But make no mistake about it. And I think this, again, nothing against Braden Locke, because he gave us everything he had. You have to be, I think, mobile and have to put pressure on defenses. Too many times this year, defensive ends and outside linebackers crashed down, and we didn't have any options to beat that defense, and that puts a lot of pressure on your run game. You can block everything up great. There's going to be an unblocked guy, and if you don't have a threat to at least force that edge player to play contain, it makes running the football that much more difficult.
Well, we appreciate you, Mark, sharing your interview with Coach Grimes with our show. I
have to say, man, I love your guys' show, and I think that your sub thing, I was listening earlier because I knew I was jumping on. Jeez. Your sub plan, what a genius. Whoever you're hosting, what a genius. What a great idea.
Whoever you're hosting,
especially
I thought you were a regular
listener. December to remember. What a great idea.
Okay, well, it's great to have Badgers radio analyst Mark Tauscher join us. It's almost as if
and
Jason, Tausch share the same brain.
I thought Tausch asked some really
that's
concise...
Mark. You're Tausch. Come on, if you're going to play along.
What did I say? Yeah, I'm Tausch. Concise questions, got a couple laughs, and what I loved, analogy.
Did you get a couple laughs?
I got 2 or 3 laughs.
Courtesy.
At least one. At least you think those are courtesy laughs? Jesse is just against me on everything, and that's okay.
Yeah, look, I want to get to Packers at some point during the show, so let me just put a bow on this. Yes. I thought it was a really good interview. You were concise. You asked all the things that I would want to know. Now, the person that I would really like Badgers radio analyst Mark Tauscher to talk to, or maybe he could join Wilde and Tausch at some point. I want to ask about the process from Coach Fickell's perspective.
Okay.
Because what he has done now in back-to-back offensive coordinator hires is hire someone he didn't know before, right? And he thought, and this is me doing my job critiquing, he thought the air raid was a good idea. I know that those 2 words now should be beeped out on our show because of the way the air raid went in the 2 years that Phil Longo was here.
Or like error raid, am I right?
It's not bad. Not bad. That was not Mark Tauscher, radio analyst, by the way, chiming in. But I would like to know, how this process went for him. Was he an admirer of what Lance Leipold and the Jayhawks were doing offensively? He's obviously paying attention to trends throughout college football. But I will say this. Listening to him talk and describe his offense as someone who wants to see the Badgers succeed, I think the most important thing in big boy college football right now is to make guys feel like they're going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. And if your offense is an NFL-style offense as opposed to some of the other things that are run throughout college football, if it's going to get me ready for playing in the NFL, whether I'm Tretch Kekahuna coming back with nothing to do with finances at all, just in the offense.
Money. Just that, yep.
Then I'm on board. So I'm eager to see more, but I do want to. I would love to have Luke Fickell on and learn more about his part of the process at some point. All right, I know that the dwellers are restless. They want Packers talk, and they want it now. I understand this was unique, and we appreciate Tausch sharing it with us and Badger Football sharing it with us. It was a good interview. You did I'm not. What do you always say? I'm doing patronizing you. It was really good.
Thanks, buddy.
Especially with someone you don't know. Like, hard to kind of get a real good vibe and a good chemistry going in an interview with someone you just met who, wait a minute, the only question I had quickly, all the coaches came over to his house. He's already got a house? He's got Irick and the whole crew, Jesse's guys.
I guess
he must
have talked to Tracy
Stacey Bruner. Let's get you in a house.
Or
you
Stacey
just got hired.
Stacey would have been even better.
Well, it could be Tracy or Stacey. They got a full flock of Bruners doing this stuff.
Anyway, welcome to Madison, Jeff Grimes.
Irick. What a crew.
Really, rates are down. We will get to some Packers talk, and we will do it to kick off the 10 o'clock hour at 10:19 a.m. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Bucks now know the opponent and the tip time for their Emirates NBA Cup semifinals Saturday in Las Vegas. 3:30 tip time Saturday afternoon, nationally televised on TNT. The Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks meet for a chance to play for the Emirates NBA Cup championship on Tuesday. Pre-game coverage starts at 3 o'clock following the 608 basketball tournament right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. The Bucks have opened as 3-point favorites for the semifinal, according to ESPN Bet. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers getting set for Sunday Night Football visiting the Seattle Seahawks. Jordan Love's never played there. He's expecting some crowd noise.
It's one of those environments where it's very loud, so guys got to do a great job. I got to do a great job being able to yell everything out and just make sure everybody gets on the same page. But guys can hear, once you get up in line of scrimmage, it does get a little bit more difficult. You just got to do a good job trying to be as loud as possible in these environments.
Plenty more to get you set for the Packers and the Seahawks. The battle in Seattle on Sunday Night Football. Wilde and Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And again, look, I understand, so please don't think that I don't and we don't understand what you tune in for more often than not on this show. And that, of course, is ideas of being able to give other people your reward points since you don't sign up for the rewards program. And if soap cleans itself. But also Packers. But this was a unique thing, and I thought Tausch crushed it or Mark Tauscher, radio analyst, whatever. I'm still a little confused at our whole dual personality thing we're doing.
Deal.
It takes a little bit of it's a struggle. But so that was something different. We'll get now into Packers because I know that's why most of you come to our pizza restaurant here. You don't come here for sushi. But, again, really good job by you. Now, MIP. Is that what I say? MIP. MIP. MIP.
Yep.
MIP. Let's talk about the Packers. I don't want to be Chicken Little. And I'm not saying that they're going to Seattle and losing. I'm not willing to say that like I know what I'm talking about. But I do kind of feel like, and I am guilty of this too, Tausch. You know, the Seahawks went on this 4-game losing streak earlier this year. I'm kind of looking at the NFC West going, I already said earlier this year that I thought the Cardinals weren't very good, so I don't really want to say that again about the Seahawks. But, like, is this not a weird game? Like, it's at a venue with a fan base that is problematic, and it's noisy and everything else. It's supposed to be 40 degrees and raining in Seattle. It rains 9 months out of the year in Seattle. So how are you on a Thursday morning looking at Sunday Night Football, Packers, Seahawks right now? Because I don't know whether I should be expressing to our fans confidence that, oh, come on, Seattle's not that good, the Packers are going to win, or if I should be expressing maybe some angst about whether this game is tougher than maybe our initial thought might be about it. Where are you at?
Well, the homer in me thinks Green Bay has just got a better roster and a better team. And the analyst in me believes that too. The skeptical side would be that was a deflating loss. This is a young team. I don't know how they're going to bounce back. If it was a home game, I'd feel better. I don't know. Jordan and the boys, they don't know what that stadium and that environment's going to be like. That is not going to be, an 11 a.m. Saturday kick with, scattered fans. It's going to be loud. And Seattle has not hosted a ton of primetime games in the last couple seasons. So, talent-wise, I think Green Bay is a better team. But as we've seen many times, it's talent and the motivation and all of those things have to equal out. And I'm going to be the thing I'm most curious about this weekend is going to be, is Green Bay at that point where they're kind of accepting of where they're going to be? Because for as much as we all want to think every player is just jacked up, you only have so much, and I've said this 100 times in the last couple of weeks, there's only so much emotional reserves that people have. Not every game is going to be win-win for the Gipper. Otherwise, nobody cares what the Gipper says. This is one of those games where motivation is going to be, I think, a huge chunk of where this at. Seattle is right there. They need to keep winning. They're at home. All the juice is going to be with them. Green Bay, this is a grow up and let's show up game. This is going to be, I need to be a pro. I need to be able to handle the crowd noise. I need to be able to do all this because this isn't going to be fire and brimstone. This is going to be, we're better, we're more professional, and we can go out and execute. That's what this game's going to be. And if that's not, it tells you that this team still has a lot of room to grow, which I do believe they do. So that's where I'm at. So I feel your angst like I did going down to Chicago. As a former player, every time I went on the road, it was my antennas were always up more than what they would be at home. So that always, and especially as you get older, you just know it is so much more difficult to win on the road. And that's why when we'd go to the Metrodome and we'd win, it was, dang, you felt just more. It's a weird way. You felt like you accomplished more.
Right.
That's what this week is. And this is the part of that growth for all these young guys. This is a tough place to play. And when you win out there, especially as an old lineman, I'm telling you, man, the extra focus and all that stuff, you are so exhausted. But, man, there's nothing better than sitting on that old folding chair, just gassed, and all your coaches and teammates coming up, dapping you up after a big, hard-fought win, like with Skipper puking in that bucket. I miss that. That is awesome. I love that. That's the feeling you get when you go on the road and you empty your bucket and you found a way to win. That's the next step for this football team.
All right, well, I want to get to the offensive line a little bit, and we'll sneak in a little power rankings Tuesday on a Thursday as well. Plus, we've got our winner of the Jingle for Your Cringle contest coming up a little bit later in the week, so be sure to stay tuned for that. We're excited to announce the winner. That's still on the to-do list as well. But next, I want to talk a little more about the offensive line. I have a great advantage working with Tausch every day and having Brian Bulaga on once a week. I talk to him on Thursdays on the Homer Hour as well. I guess I thought the offensive line, from my perspective in Detroit, got off to a rocky start, but I didn't think that they played poorly through the whole game. At least I didn't notice that. It seemed they shored things up. But Brian's critique was pretty harsh, and it led me to ask Matt LaFleur about that. We'll get to that coming up, just like we'll get to maybe the Wildes getting a new driveway down the road from Johnson & Sons Paving. For now, we're just excited to get an orange sweatshirt for Sid.
Can't wait to get up and do that job. Get ready for spring and do it now. Call Johnson & Sons Paving to make sure no pavement hazards get worse over the winter. You got potholes and cracked curbs and drainage issues. Well, if things are bad now, they're only going to get worse. Call Johnson & Sons. Get it fixed. Schedule a free, no-obligation quote. Walkthrough of your pavement. They'll be able to see signs of asphalt pavement work that is needed by spotting that fatigue, cracking, standing water, warping, buckling, sinking pavement, and more. Don't scare away customers or tenants with bad curb appeal. Book now, save money later. JohnsonSonsPaving.com.
We'll hear from Matt LaFleur about the Packers' offensive line next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The high school basketball season is officially underway this week on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania. Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Prep Mania returns this Friday and Saturday to Madison College for the 608 basketball tournament, the best local boys high school basketball showcase of the year. Featuring Division I recruits like Middleton's Will Garlock, committed to Wisconsin, and Xavion Mitchell of Oshkosh North, committed to Iowa State. Semifinals Friday night and 4 games Saturday. The 608 basketball tournament this weekend on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 200 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states and is the best place to get real money sports action. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 line. That's right. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 line. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Prairie Athletic Club is the ultimate destination for health, wellness, and crushing your goals. This is Sarah Tauscher. Say goodbye to post-workout aches and pains at the Pack's new recovery zone. With their assisted stretch and pneumatic boot sessions, you can get instant results, leaving you feeling refreshed and ready to tackle your next workout. Don't believe it works? Give it a try. Stop in, stretch your body, and relax your mind at the Pack. Visit prairieathletic.com to learn more. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, community.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. It's the season, love and understanding.
Jesse, what's this one? I don't remember this in the rotation previously.
This is Merry Christmas, Everyone from Shakin' something or other. I can't see it all.
Shakin' something or other.
This is actually...
That's a good band.
There's a new show that Becca and I just started watching on Netflix, and it's like a spy thriller. It's with Keira Knightley from Pirates of the Caribbean. She's like the main character in it. And this is the first song that's on. It's set at Christmas time, and this is like the opening song to it.
Oh, look at that.
I just got this, and I know we're getting to Packer talk because I have not looked at the YouTube because they don't let me subscribe, and now they just bumped their rates. I just saw by a bunch of money.
What?
There's a movie on Netflix. Yeah, YouTube just bumped its rates up a bunch. If you get YouTube TV.
Oh, I don't get that.
Big jump.
That's different than what? Never mind.
Oh, explain. No.
Well, we're on
but there is a
YouTube.
movie. All right, let's
don't
just
have
move
to pay.
along. I'll get to this later. It's a Netflix show about a husband and his dying wife, and a robot comes into the equation. It seems, and it's a trending movie on Netflix. I'm watching it, and I will give you a review. Maybe I don't know when, but some point.
Can't wait.
What does Grok say about it?
As someone told me about it, they said basically it's what you would think. It's a love story, the robot. And there's a lot of feelings and emotions, and it's a world that's...
Wait, the guy's wife is dying and he's falling in love with the robot?
That's what I was told.
All right, we need to talk Packers.
Geno Smith, huh?
I'm going to stop listening to the show, and I'm honest.
DK Metcalf.
Here's Matt LaFleur discussing the offensive line and their performance against the Lions after I asked him about it.
Your offensive line's been pretty darn good most of the year. What did you think of how they were on Thursday in Detroit, and how much are you challenging them, and are they challenging themselves?
I just think it was a tough environment. We got to do a better job of being able to get off on the snap count. I thought there was some instances where they were kind of jumping the cadence, and there's tools for that and mechanisms for that to try to alleviate some of that, because that is your advantage on offense. So I think it all starts there with your operation, and we got to be better in a lot of areas in that regard.
Carry over then to a potentially loud, even though outdoor environment this weekend.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, this is traditionally it's been one of the toughest places to play.
Great follow-up.
What a follow-up there, yeah. What I should have said is...
What a follow-up.
Have you considered bringing Brian Bulaga in to explain to them the watching the quarterback's leg concept that worked so well for him and Bakhtiari back in the day, right? I'm very curious about that because they were not getting off on the snap.
No, and it's the hardest thing. That was probably the toughest part of my job as an offensive tackle was when you went up to these really loud places and you tried to figure out, because Matt's right, the biggest advantage you have as an O-lineman is the snap count. You get to dictate. On the road, you don't. And yes, you can alleviate some of it, but it's just not the same. And I think the Packers have done a good job. We didn't do a ton of silent count until middle of my career. It helps. It still doesn't give you that advantage. It gets you back to somewhat level of a playing field, but you're always playing a half a step slower than you would be if you're at home. And that is a huge disadvantage, and that's part of the reason that you have point spreads change and teams play better at home, is because you're able to dictate more stuff. And on the flip side, defensively, Lambeau has become a loud place. It was not a loud place early in my career. It has made it easier for the defense to jump the count and to get off and to make plays. So it all goes hand in hand. That's some of the things that you have to adjust to, and it sounds like the Packers have a plan, but I'm going to tell you right now, everybody's got a plan until you can't get off on a snap count and your quarterback gets drilled because you're 3 steps late on the snap count. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the blanking mouth. You're going to get punched in the mouth up there. You have to regroup, and you're going to have days, you're going to have some plays that you're going to be looking and saying, whew, I don't know what the hell happened there, because that's what that crowd noise will do to you.
Yeah, I am extremely curious to see how this plays out on Sunday night, because that this could have been a very different environment, right? Like, this could have been, the Seahawks had lost 4 straight. If they had kept spiraling, this might even be flexed out of Sunday Night Football, frankly, right? But instead, they've won 4 in a row. They are leading their division. I'm still not, I would say this, and I'm not saying that I am an expert in the Seahawks, but the Geno Smith reclamation project, it does appear, not only from the last couple of years where he kind of reinvented himself, but it appears, I checked out some of their games on NFL Plus, and then I was looking at the trend lines of his numbers. He was turning the ball over a lot early in the year. But he was also throwing the ball a lot early in the year. And it does appear that they have gotten their balance to a much healthier spot.
Is old boy playing? Is Walker running, or is he going to be out?
I do not think he is going to play. They obviously have not ruled him out yet. I don't think he practiced yesterday. It is.
Let me go check with that podcast guy. He was 50% on early announcements of inactives last week.
Charbonnet was the guy last week, which is a great name. But look, it's a little bit like Jordan Love in that you make the guy throw the ball 45 times in a game, there's more opportunities for him to make a mistake. If you limit that and you run the football effectively, then there's fewer opportunities for him to make a mistake, and that's been the case with Geno Smith of late. If you made a mistake with your bathroom, and it looks a lot like the Roman Colosseum's restrooms, well, then we've got just the people to make that right, and that, of course, is Kohler Services.
Indeed, if you need a bath or shower remodel this holiday season, turn to Kohler Services, family-owned. 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life, and I love what a great, luxurious Wisconsin brand Kohler is, and this month only. 0 interest, 12 months, and you know it, Gilligan, a free shower door. A free shower door.
Wait, am I
with
Gilligan?
With your Lugstone shower. Huh?
Does that make me Gilligan?
Well, I got a hunch I'm going to be cast as skipper for a lot of reasons. Where am I now? A free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. With fast professional installation, that is always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
All right, look, Kohler Services is a great partner. We love Doug. His wife is a huge fan of the show. It's awesome, right? But how on earth, after the skipper sidetracking, do you have to ask yourself where you were in the read? It's the only line that would have any sort of connection to Gilligan's Island, a free shower door. How'd you lose your spot?
When did you – so I know I get a lot of grief for interrupting you. Rarely do I interrupt you on your reads. I interrupt you all the time on all your other stuff because, A, I have a short attention span, and B, you're super long-winded, so it's just like it's a recipe for interruption. Like that's a recipe RFI, recipe for interruption.
Nailed it.
You didn't say Megan Fox was the robot in this movie on Netflix.
No, so the movie is called Subservience. Subservience. I am going to check it out. Jason, just so you know, not a family-friendly movie. Not something that you're going to want to probably watch with Paula or the girls. It's probably something you're going to want to just watch when you're sitting not when you're sitting around the high school gymnasiums watching. I think you're going to want to watch this in the privacy of your own basement.
I'm just going to stick with the Law and Order reruns. We'll get to Power Rankings Thursday next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Searching for the perfect brunch spot this weekend? Look no further than the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., indulge in the Great Dane sweet and savory brunch menu paired with mimosas, Bloody Marys, or one of their signature beers on tap. Enjoy at any of their 4 Madison area pubs, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Learn more and view the full menu at greatdanepub.com/brunch. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Kringle, all I want for Christmas is you.
Dad!
What?
We talked about this. Yeah, your jingle for your Kringle entry last year was so lame that Racine Danish Kringle banned you from their contest.
I thought it was only a one holiday season ban.
It was a lifetime ban.
Well, I guess I'm out, but here's how you can enter our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringle jingle for your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tausch. Submit your own original jingle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringle. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. If you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new Eggnog Holiday Kringle.
Racine Danish Kringle, such a tasty, yummy treat. With a flaky crust and sweet icing, it's the best thing you can eat.
Oh, like that's so much better than mine.
Well, at least we're not off key.
This is Devin Robinson from Badger Volleyball, here with Madison's best roofing, siding, and window company, Ridgetop Exteriors. I protect the net at the field house, and they protect your home. They're trusted, local, and affordable. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com today. That's ridgetopexteriors.com.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a liter of Water Joe at your local Kroger, Pick and Save, or Metro Market for just 99 cents now until January 5th. Just purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. It's a great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drinks. Get that liter of Water Joe for 99 cents through January 5th at your local Kroger, Pick and Save, or Metro Market.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Madison with First Serve on January 17th. Led by Madison's newest pro team, Love Madison Volleyball. Get ready for nonstop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring Olympic medalists Lauren Carlini and Annie Drew Schumacher, Love Madison is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season. Visit LOVB.com today. Volleyball is the next major league.
The 608 basketball tournament returns Friday, December 13th and Saturday, December 14th at Madison College. Come experience the best showcase of high school basketball in the Madison area. 2 games Friday night, 4 games Saturday. Purchase tickets at 608basketball.com.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Everybody's starting to feel it in the air. All of the sidewalks, all of the street lights, holiday magic everywhere. Ooh, then it hits me. Ooh, it's officially Christmas, and I'm officially yours. I'm officially wishing for something not in the store. It's already December, the snow's falling too, and all of a sudden it's true. It's officially Christmas.
It is officially Christmas, and another little present that the G&G might have under their tree is going to be Luke Musgrave potentially. And I was actually, it's funny because Tucker Kraft has emerged and has been as good as, I'm not going to say as good as any tight end in the league, but man, production-wise and what he's brought, everybody is excited about what he's got going. And now you start wondering, well, Jaden Reed's not getting touches. Dobbs hasn't even played the last couple weeks. How is Musgrave going to fit into this whole equation? And I don't have an answer for that. I'm going to be fascinated to find out. He's obviously somebody that the Green Bay Packers have a lot of faith and hope that he can be that guy. But with everything else that's going on, how hard is it going to be for him to fit and to find a spot with this offense? I think that's going to be another fun little question mark. And it's always great to have a ton of talent, but you have to find ways to harness it. And if you don't, you're going to end up with a lot of frustrated players, and it might not necessarily be the best scenario. So figuring that balance out is not going to be easy.
As you can see on our video stream, we're having some difficulties connecting with Jason. He is not just taking the segment off like some people around here tend to do. We've lost his connection, both audio and video, so we'll see if we can get connected with him in a minute here. So, yeah, it sounds like Musgrave on the trek back. Tausch, how do you think that they're going to incorporate? Because some of us drafted Luke Musgrave in a Dynasty Fantasy League earlier this year. Like, is there a road back to him becoming as productive as Tucker Kraft, or
no?
Is he going to be a solid number 2 option, and that's all?
So the tough part for me is I think you're going to be able to design some stuff for him. He obviously, I remember last offseason, everybody raving slow motion pictures of him running and the athleticism that he's got. But Tucker Kraft is the guy. And you draft guys, Musgrave was second round, I think Kraft was third. You hope that both those guys, they find their roles. Musgrave got hurt. Tucker Kraft had a peck all offseason. He has come in and he has emerged, and I think he's going to end up being one of your leaders on this football team moving forward. I think the days of Musgrave, and unless he improves his blocking, I don't even know how often, because if you go 12 personnel, you want to have some blocking capability, and it's not just going to be now you can have Tucker do the dirty work and the blocking and have Musgrave running seams, but Tucker Kraft is really good out in space too. He has been a difference maker from what we've seen in the past. So when you kind of try and figure out, can he make a big impact coming back? I would say no. Can he make an impact and have some big splash plays? Absolutely. And when that's going to be, if you just got him off of the IR list, you give him a couple weeks to kind of get his footing about him, or do you get him right out there? He is a talent, and it's your job as a coach and as an offense to figure out ways to get him the football when he's out there. But I don't think they're going to start reconfiguring things on a big scale to try and get him the football more often.
While we work to connect with Jason, we will play trivia coming up next. Before we do that, Tausch, I don't know if Luke Musgrave will be as good as raising a Coors Light and throwing it back as Tucker Kraft is, but I know you enjoy yourself a Coors Light, as do I.
I do. Coors Light, brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp and is only 102 calories. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
So I did get lazy, and I am recycling the trivia that we didn't use on Tuesday on today's show. I hope you approve of that. How did it go yesterday with Wisconsin geography? I was listening. I know a little bit of how it went.
It was tough. We got 6 for 6, which was really good. Everybody nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
We think that Riley's were pretty good. And then he went AI Grok because you didn't leave him 3 other questions he didn't know about. And then the whole machine shut down, and we had to go to commercial.
Yeah.
So would I say it went swimmingly? No, I wouldn't. But just like Jason with his questions, it ain't about how maybe that process went. It's what did we end up getting out of it? And we learned something. We learned that there's a silent Q in Meshkwakano up in the Great North Woods. So we did learn some things, and we got 6 for 6 when it came to trivia contestants.
Well, today is Badgers Trivia Tuesday. Let's take caller number 8 right now. Caller 8 at 844-770-3776. Caller number 8. Badgers Trivia Tuesday. We'll work to reconnect with Jason. It's cold out. First really cold day of the year. Might be affecting his equipment or internet at home. So we'll see if we can get reconnected with him. And in the meantime, we will play trivia. Caller 8 for Badgers Trivia Tuesday. That's coming up next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tosher here for Pizza Hut, where the number 7 just got luckier. You already know how much I love Pizza Hut, but have you heard about Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu? Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With the $7 Deal Lovers menu, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have a both. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Time for Grimes. Jeff Grimes officially Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator. The OC locked in on a balanced attack. He explains more in his sit-down with radio analyst Mark Tauscher, audio courtesy Badger Football.
If you can't run the football, then you become one-dimensional. And so I think that's where it starts, is running the football and establishing an identity that is based on that and a rugged mentality about how you're going to do it. Once you establish that, then the vertical passing game comes to life, and then receivers will get excited about that.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. The holidays are here, and there is no better way to celebrate than with the delicious brandy or whiskey from Door County Distillery. It's the holidays. People are coming over. You're mixing up old fashions. No better way to do it than with the cherry brandy from Door County Distillery, made with local Door County cherries, or the 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey. No matter if you want your brandy old-fashioned or your whiskey old-fashioned, everybody's pleased with Door County Distillery. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
The president of James Imaging Systems, Tom Tegeter.
Over 45 years ago, my father, James Tegeter, founded our company on a cornerstone of quality, integrity, and service as the best way of connecting with clients. As I reflect on 2024, I'm grateful for the James Imaging Systems team. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to always connecting with clients and helping them thrive. To each long-term client, I extend my gratitude and thanks for your confidence and support. We look forward to remaining connected to you as your local business technology partner. I also appreciate our new 2024 clients for connecting with us. Welcome to the James Imaging Systems family. Looking forward to 2025, I believe if each of us embraces the power of connection, our local community will prosper. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Hang on, mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be.
Hi. What did I miss?
Missed you, buddy.
Yeah, we are in a service outage because of the bitter cold here in Green Bay.
Well,
Matt
it's that or
LaFleur.
those drones. Could be the drones, too.
No, I'm pretty sure it's minus 3 degrees here Fahrenheit without the.
Yeah, it's -5 here. Knock on
But
wood,
you've got
my
your
internet's
internet.
fine.
Yeah, well, count your blessings, buddy.
What do you think those drones are doing, Jason? I mean, it's
spying
crazy,
on
isn't
us.
it?
Yeah, spying
No,
on us.
seriously. Do we have any idea?
I am being serious. Don't you think that's what they're doing?
Who knows? I have no clue.
Let me know. So let me know if they look like Megan Fox, because then I'll have a little more interest in them. Like your film that you're going to be. So this is not a limited run series. This is a movie. Subservient.
It is a movie.
I
yes.
have not seen it. Obviously, I just heard about it. It's intriguing. So I'm going to dial in and I'm going to probably watch it at some point.
Well, I'm also intrigued by trivia. And unlike the movie, which I won't watch, we will play trivia, and we'll play it right now with Dan in Brothertown, the Coyote turned Phoenix. Dan, good morning. How are you?
Doing great, Jason. How are you guys doing?
We're good. How are the Phoenix? What kind of start are we off to with your daughter-in-law at the helm?
We had a tough early schedule. Lost some games, but got a nice win last night in Milwaukee. I drove down to watch them play against UWM, and they beat UWM pretty badly, so that was a nice win. And they got a tough game this Saturday. Creighton's coming up to Green Bay, so that should be a toughie.
Ooh, the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Don't
I
mess
think we've
with
got
the
some
Jays.
availability on Saturday. Maybe we'll have to go check that game out. See, I'm so glad you're the contestant, Dan. All right, here we go. The category, I believe, is Badgers Trivia Tuesday on a Thursday. The first question is this. In which of these presidential cities does Wisconsin volleyball play in the regionals of the NCAA volleyball tournament tomorrow night? Are they in Lincoln, Nebraska, Washington, District of Columbia, or Gerald Ford Township, Vermont?
Yeah,
They're in Lincoln tomorrow. They're in Lincoln.
Is Gerald Ford Township an actual place? Do we need to check with Hunter Vaughn on this?
It is not.
Okay.
No, it's just been a while since we had a good Gerald Ford in here, so wanted to
nicely done.
Toss him a bone there.
What was more fake, the Jeff Grimes laugh or that laugh?
Oh, that one for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Grimes is
all right,
fake
Dan.
too.
New Wisconsin Badgers offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes was the offensive coordinator at BYU from 2018 to 2020, where he coached which future NFL quarterback? Is it Josh Allen, Zach Wilson, Kenny Pickett?
Zach Wilson.
Yes, sir.
BYU bewaredness. All right, 2 for 2, Dan. Here's question 3. Which of these is not one of the 2 non-conference opponents remaining for the Wisconsin men's basketball team to play this season? Out of the University of San Francisco.
Bill Russell.
Nicely
Yes,
done.
sir.
No extra entry. Sorry, but well done nonetheless. All right, Dan, 3 for 3 on trivia. That means you got 4 entries into the drawing on Friday, and then maybe we'll see you Saturday. What time? Since I would normally ask Kelly Call what time Murder, She Wrote is on, I'll ask you, what time is tip-off on Saturday?
1 o'clock.
Okay. All right. That's helpful. I appreciate that. Good luck in the drawing,
All right.
and thanks for your loyalty to the show, buddy. Thanks.
You bet. You guys take care.
All right. That is Wilde and Tausch trivia. I think we may have already had our internet restored, maybe?
Well, now it looks
So
like
I maybe-
Tausch's is out on our video stream, so we're
Shut
really
the front door.
We're rolling on all cylinders here. This is. I didn't know it was too cold for the Wisconsin winter already.
Drones. I think it's the drones.
You and your drones. All right. Well, we will. I will try to get reconnected so I can be on the video because Lord knows I also have to be connected to be able to chat with our YouTube dwellers. Want to remind you though that we are down to the wire. This is it today. You got to get it in today, or forever hold your peace and your Racine Danish Kringles jingle for your Kringle entry. That's right. This is it. We're going to pick our winner tomorrow. So if you're going to submit one, you got to do it ASAP. The ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringle jingle for your Kringle contest is back on Wilde and Tausch. Again, you have to do it today. The deadline is today. Submit your own original jingle to celebrate the holidays and Racine Danish Kringle. You just got to submit it to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. You have to make sure you include the tagline, "It's not just a treat, it's a tradition." Then we'll pick the most creative songs as our finalists, and our grand prize winner will win Kringle for a year. And if you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with Racine Danish Kringle, all you got to do is call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com if your internet is working and order their all-new Eggnog Holiday Kringle. That's right, the Racine Danish Kringle, jingle for your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tausch. The 11 o'clock hour, which will include a visit from Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike, as long as his phone and internet are working, is coming up in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by the 608 basketball tournament. Friday and Saturday at Madison College, the premier boys basketball showcase in Madison, featuring the best teams from around the state and Division I recruits. Purchase discounted presale tickets now at 608basketball.com. The Milwaukee Bucks now know who their opponent will be in the semifinals of the Emirates NBA Cup Saturday in Las Vegas. The Atlanta Hawks, victorious over the New York Knicks last night. Bucks-Hawks for the battle of the Eastern Conference representative in the Cup Final on Tuesday night. That's a Saturday afternoon game, 3:30 tip time in Las Vegas. Pre-game coverage starts at 3 o'clock following the 608 basketball tournament right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. Meanwhile, it's a Sunday night kickoff for the Green Bay Packers against the Seattle Seahawks. First time Jordan Love and many of the Packers players will be facing the Seahawks in Seattle. First trip out west for the Packers to play on the road against the Seattle Seahawks since the 2018 season. The Packers haven't won in Seattle, including postseason, since 2008. Plenty more on the game coming up. Wilde and Tausch right here, 100.5 ESPN Wisconsin on demand.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And I think I'm back. Thanks to the fine people who apparently weren't ready for the cold weather to begin with, but have now restored our internet, and I assume our cable as well. So thank you, Spectrum. Tausch, what did I miss? You guys talked about Luke Musgrave, I hear.
So we did, and you were up there. Jesse asked if Luke Musgrave could come in and have a big role, and I said no, but he could have a role. I think the idea of him playing a lot of 12 personnel and him and Kraft being out there together for 25 or 30 snaps, I just don't see that happening. I don't think Musgrave, unless he's improved a ton blocking, Kraft is showcased, and he's kind of snatched that job and ran with it. So he's going to be your guy, and then it comes down to, can you find some plays and some wrinkles where you get him the ball up the seam or you let him utilize some of that athleticism? But Matt LaFleur's got, and again, I know we took a little heat this offseason. I thought this was going to be the big storyline all season. You have a lot of young talent, and trying to figure out how to keep everybody happy, giving guys reps, make them feel engaged, not going to be an easy challenge. And while you're always excited to get good players back into your locker room and healthy and playing, it also is another challenge. Oh, well, maybe we need to do this a little bit more. Maybe we need to find some wrinkles to get these guys in, because all week it's been Jaden Reed's not getting enough touches. Well, at some point, got to figure out who your guys are and go, and then everybody else is kind of sprinkled. I think Musgrave's going to be a sprinkle, at least as far as the rest of this season goes.
Yeah, maybe by the end of the regular season and heading into the playoffs. They do want to play more two tight ends, but to your point, I think if you gave them truth serum, they might say that Ben Sims, Chipotle Ben, is a better blocker than Luke Musgrave is.
Did he have a rewards card when he went in there with you?
I am sure that he's collecting rewards points on the app. I would certainly hope so, because you end up getting a free burrito or maybe a kid's meal if you're doing that a lot. Look, they had this vision of this dynamic duo at tight end, and incredibly, it's almost as if they can only have one at a time. Start of last season, Tucker Kraft was not a factor at all, barely played, 2 catches for 5 yards in the first 8 games. And then he has that breakout game against the Chargers in which Luke Musgrave lacerates his kidney. And then he's out 6 games. And now he's missed 9 games this season. So, look, there's no doubting Tucker Kraft is the guy. He's the man.
He is the guy
at the position.
He is.
And he does it all. But getting Luke Musgrave back could make things a little more interesting and could give them an interesting dynamic with 2 tight ends, which Matt LaFleur has said he wants to run more of because they run the ball very effectively out of that set. All right, let's get to our Thursday power rankings from ESPN.com. Jesse, I know you love this, so I turn it over to you.
And we'll do it fast because we do have Evan Cohen coming up next.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll do. I'll give you the rankings. Tausch, you can just approve or disapprove of the ranking that they've provided this week. Number 1 team, the Detroit Lions.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Number 2, the 12-1 Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, not whack.
Number 3.
Matter of fact, you know what, Jesse? Jesse, flip it.
You're putting the
I'm
Chiefs
a lesson
1?
learner. Yeah, I'm a lesson learner in life, Jason.
Yeah.
Nut whack, nut whack, nut whack, nut whack. Chiefs 1, Lions 2.
Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Nut whack, for those of you who are unfamiliar.
What are you new here?
Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles, often slept on in the NFC, 11-2.
Often slept on this show.
Just wait till we get to the
Pass
Vikings.
on that.
Number 4, you're passing on the
Jeff
Eagles.
Passing?
Yeah, I'm putting Buffalo 3. And
All
I'm
right,
putting,
Buffalo is
Philly
4, so you would flip-flop 1 and 2,
Yeah, I'm
and you would
flipping those
flip-flop
2.
3 and 4. Okay.
Correct, yes.
How about number 5, the Minnesota Vikings? Very underrated on this show.
Nope. Slip them down.
They are 11-2.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're having a nice season.
Number 6, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 10-3.
Nope.
Okay. Number 7, the Green Bay Packers.
So here's where I'm going to go. I'm going to put the Baltimore Ravens ahead of both.
The Ravens
All
are in
3.
at 8 and 5, just for
Yeah, I'm
reference.
putting the Ravens at, I guess, at 5. I'm putting Pittsburgh
Packers.
at 6, Green Bay at 7, Minnesota at 8. That's where I'm at. Yeah, I know.
The
I'm a homer.
slander.
It's on
But
brand.
I also am looking at this. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And Jason, Jesse, right now, if the Lions get the 1 or 2 seed and the Vikings aren't a division winner, that is my premise. And I think that's going to happen, but it might not. Who's going further in the playoffs, Green Bay or the Minnesota Vikings? That's how I'm looking at this power rankings.
So
who do
if
I
the
think is going to be the
Vikings-
last people standing at the end of the deal? And right now, I don't have Green Bay in the NFC Championship game because these other teams have proven that they're better.
If Minnesota finishes ahead of Green Bay in the standings, which they are likely to do even if the Packers go to Minnesota and win, the Vikings would draw the Eagles in the second round, the divisional round. The Packers would draw the Lions if they both
I
win.
hate to tell you this. Minnesota has to play at Seattle or at Tampa. Good night, sweetheart. It's time to go home.
All right. In theory, the Packers will have to play in Seattle, and the Vikings will have to play in Tampa, or I guess Atlanta possibly still could win that division.
Atlanta's done.
I
It's
would
over.
tend to agree. I think they both could end up beating their teams on the road.
Yep.
I think they both,
Or
could,
they both
lose,
could lose.
and they don't go.
Exactly.
There you go. Indeed. I can't wait to get to it because I am very curious, and I do want to see. I want to see what happens on December 29th if the Minnesota Vikings in their huddle, let's go show that Mark Tauscher what we're made of, and they go out there and prove
They're too
themselves.
busy. They're too busy still putting their Anthony Barr hit of Aaron Rodgers on their top 4 plays of the season, which is ridiculous. They're still
Classless.
doing that. So
Yeah, classless. All right, we need to get to Evan Cohen, and you need to get to
It's not to be
Steinhoff.
disrespectful. Not to be disrespectful, Jason. It's just how I feel.
I
don't think they're in the same echelon. I think they're in an echelon. But not in the same echelon.
I think they're in the same echelon as the Packers until proven otherwise.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Green Bay's better. But I think they're in the same echelon.
You're entitled to that opinion. You're also
So you got
entitled.
tiers and you got echelons. You got your echelons. You got your 4 big boys, which we just went. You got 4 big boys in the league that I think everybody would think right now, this can be your AFC, NFC championship. That's that echelon.
Buffalo,
then you got the
Kansas
next group
City,
scrambling.
Detroit, Philly.
Those are your that's your upper echelon.
I'm with
now
you.
you got your mid echelon, and then you got your lower echelon.
Yeah. This sounds a lot like
And I'm
tiers.
putting Minnesota, Green Bay, Pittsburgh. They're all mid echelon.
Baltimore.
Yes.
The Mechelon, am I right?
And then you got the Commanders will be in the Lechelon. You got the Commanders Lechelon. You're probably looking at Chargers Lechelon. Broncos are Lechelon. Tampa's Lechelon. And whoever wins the West, Lechelon. That's how I'm Lecheloning and putting it in echelon.
And then the Flushalon for the rest of them?
I'll let you
You should have stopped at
I
the
didn't think that was great.
Shalon. You were pretty good there.
Yeah, that was good.
Maybe if you'd have
Less
just
is
gotten...
more. Less is more. Go ahead, Jason.
It's ironic.
What you think?
Maybe if you'd have gotten a better night's sleep, and you could get a great night's sleep on a Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhafels. Discover the advanced pressure-relieving power of a Tempur-Pedic, making aches and pains a thing of the past. Right now, Queen Tempur-Pedics start at just $52 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month special financing. Plus, you'll get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop Steinhafels Tempur-Pedic mattresses in-store and online at steinhafels.com. Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison. Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle as best you can to be the best.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
If the NFL playoffs started today, spoiler alert, they don't, the 6-seeded Green Bay Packers would play at the 3-seeded Seattle Seahawks in Wild Card Weekend, just like they do Sunday night. Head coach Matt LaFleur sheds a light onto how much of a playoff preview he views Sunday night as.
I do think every opportunity for you to go on the road, I think, can harden you and make you better. And you got to be super dialed in all three phases, and that's why I was talking about the detail.
Playoff preview or not, it's Packers at Seahawks Sunday Night Football on NBC.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
It's a new era for Wisconsin football fans.
The defense is not the problem on this team. You want to talk about continuity, which we talk about all the time? Getting rid of the defensive coordinator just because we're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Taking the conversation digital with the Jump Around 3.0.
The defense on the whole for this year, it's not perfect. We need a higher standard. But again, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
The Jump Around with Jim Rutledge, outfitted by Iron Jock Apparel. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit stoughtonhealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Time now for Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Jason, Mark, Jesse, how are you guys?
We're great. Hey,
How are you?
What? Wow.
I'm doing my Mad Dog. That's my Mad Dog. How are you?
Oh, okay.
I think you crushed it.
Okay. We didn't like that, huh?
That was the worst Mad Dog imitation I've ever heard in my life.
And I bet you've heard a few
I thought it was great.
over the years.
How you doing? Evco, you've been rocking that North Carolina blue. What now? You're a big Jordan fan now. Are you going to be all Tar Heel all the time?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's random. I was going to wear a UNC MJ jersey on Sportsmanlike on ESPN2 and ESPNU the same day that Belichick took over. So weird. I'm not over Wisconsin, obviously, but I am going to root for UNC football in addition to, and thankfully we don't play each other next year, both of my squads. So, yeah, I'm in. Coach Belichick and I, absolutely.
Not only that, it's a good thing you and Roy Williams made your peace, because there was a time where you would have not worn Carolina gear because he disrespected our guy, Dick Bennett.
That's true. And I've told Jason the story off the air. I don't know if I've said it on the air. But when Roy Williams took shots at the Badgers in 2001, 2, whatever it was, I held it against Roy Williams forever. And then Dick Bennett said he forgave him.
Forgave him before we did.
Before we did. And then when I talked to Roy Williams about it, he's like, Dick Bennett and I are like good friends. Like, we hang out. And I'm like, wait, what? It's like, all right, now I feel really pathetic because I'm holding a grudge on behalf of someone else I don't know against someone he's actually friends with.
Well, you and Jason are a lot alike.
We are.
But Jason,
you and Wilde are very similar. Very similar.
Wait, hold on. There's another part of this. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Tony walked away from Virginia, didn't Roy Williams put out some loving statement towards him?
He did.
If I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. We're good people.
Anyway.
You and me, no doubt about it. All right. So help me though understand this, and I'm guessing you talked to. I did not catch this morning's show. I was doing a few appearances on our other shows,
or any morning show that we've done. But anyway, go ahead.
That's not true. That's not
fair.
true. I like to watch Michelle Schmalman.
That's very fair.
I am curious.
He wasn't even on today.
Well, good. Then it's a good thing I didn't watch. Okay. I am curious if because we talked about this when Jeff Hafley left a Power 5 conference team, and I understand that BC has been a bowl team and not exactly a playoff contender, but he left to become a coordinator in the NFL, left a head coaching job. Now, the greatest coach in NFL history is choosing college football with all of its challenges of NIL and the transfer portal and everything else. Help me explain. I was reading Seth Wickersham's story on ESPN.com about it. But what do you make of this? What does this tell us?
Yeah, I see. This is what's interesting. I just talked to Seth Wickersham, as you guys will hear on ESPN Wisconsin after you guys when Greeny airs. So here's what I think people are missing. When people like Jeff Hafley, or on a bigger scale, Nick Saban, left college football because they were no longer satisfied with college football and the way it was going, or Tony Bennett, the aforementioned, or Jay Wright at Virginia. What we failed to think about until today is that, of course, the lifelong college coaches are leaving college. But, of course, the lifelong pro coaches are going to go to college because it's now another professional league just with younger people playing in that professional league. So it makes a lot of sense to think the lifelong college coach doesn't know the sport they're in and the game they're in because they've never experienced it, and the lifelong pro coach is an expert at it. So why not take your expertise when you're going up against people that don't know how to do it?
So, Evan, you could
I
not
think
have
Deion Sanders. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll finish. I'm sure whatever you're saying about Deion's going to be genius.
No,
So finish this.
now I'm just turned off to even say it. Go ahead, Tausch.
Well, I was just going to say, what a great segue as a great professional host that you are. I was on Jim, Matt, and Molly yesterday, and my thoughts, I think, are very similar to what you said. Jesse, play this from Jim, Matt, and Molly yesterday afternoon. Great guest, Mark Tauscher was on. Play this, and let's hear what Evan has to say.
College football is becoming pro football. It is. And if you can get, there is so much inefficiency right now with the portal and everything else. If you are as structured and have the knowledge that Bill Belichick has and all of the resources and all of the brains that he can pick, I think he sees that there's some really good margins that you're able to squeeze out from acquiring talent and doing things that I feel like he knows he doesn't have a long runway with. But this system is so new, it just feels like to me that he sees that there's some opportunities to really make some big moves and turn a program that has not won in football in any big way. He can change that quickly, and I'm guessing that's a big reason why he decided to jump in and do this.
Gosh, that's good analysis.
Wow.
Evan, how good of analysis is that?
I didn't recognize the voice. Who was that? How about Tausch?
We don't know.
Throwing to Tausch and endorsing Tausch simultaneously.
He was also shaking his head on the video stream, agreeing with Tausch while listening to Tausch.
I learned from watching you, Dad. I learned from watching you.
Good job, Tausch. So you just played an audio clip of everything I just said. Well, what am I going to say? Disagree? I said the exact same thing before you threw to yourself. Of course I agree. That's exactly what it is.
So,
now,
Evan, what do you think?
I think there's an argument, Tausch, to be made that he is going to change the landscape of college football more so than he's going to flame out in college football. That I think people are going to observe how he's building a staff, where he's getting funding from, how he's using the funding. I think people are going to take notes on this and say, okay, let's think about how this works, because maybe he's done it differently. I've heard, I have no idea if it's true, and I'm not like reporting this or anything like that, but there has been some buzz about the idea that he's going to have two coaching staffs simultaneously. And what I mean by that, he's going to have the on-field coaching staff that's just worrying about X's and O's practice games, and then the off-field staff, now led by Mike Lombardi, the general manager, that's just going to worry about NIL, NIL, transfer, portal, recruiting, all that kind of stuff, that there's going to be two different coaching staffs simultaneously.
A scouting department and an on-the-field stuff. I mean, that's in essence what they're going to do. And you just feel like he sees, and we saw this in his whole career, double tight ends. And he always kind of was ahead of the curve. He saw those inefficiencies or opportunities that others didn't, and he always went. And there's so much unknown and so much inefficiency that with as organized and as experienced and as well-connected as he is, I wouldn't be surprised if he brings private equity in, if he starts getting like investors. Like, I could see him completely flipping this pineapple cake upside down and turning it into a championship operation pretty quickly.
You know what's amazing about what you just said? Because I love him, obviously. You know that as a coach. I don't know.
The pineapple cake line?
That was good, too. But isn't a pineapple cake automatically upside down?
That's what I thought.
Not
yes.
automatically. It's just better because you let the juices flow.
Never heard of a pineapple regular side up cake.
Well, get out.
But then upside down would be regular. What would upside down be? Regular side up.
Oh, wow.
Actually, hold on.
It's a conundrum.
That actually flows perfectly to what I'm saying. That's brilliant by me. Tausch. Anyway, the point that I'm making here is Tausch, you're saying he's so far ahead of things. You know why he's so far ahead of things? Because he uses the pass. You brought up the double tight end. He got that from the Detroit Lions in the 60s. That wasn't something new. It was just something that people weren't doing, and he just uses the pass. So why do I say that? When I did post-game for the University of Miami, I spent a lot of time around our buddy Steve Walsh, okay? A fascinating dinner in Florida a few years ago. And Walsh, who's from Minnesota and is coaching it. Yeah?
Well, fascinating. So was Tausch at dinner with Steve Walsh? You can't just sneak that through there.
Yeah, it was me, Tausch, Walsh, Steve Palcina, the president of Good Karma Brands, and those at the time that had significant others. Right, Tausch? I don't remember who else was at that dinner.
That was a lot longer than 2 years ago, too. But, yes, we did.
I didn't say 2 years. I said a few years.
Oh, I thought you said 2. Okay, continue. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the point is, Walsh would always tell me, and this is not dissimilar to Wisconsin when we were great with Barry. He's like, Miami, everyone thinks because you know Warren Sapp's name or Ray Lewis's name that, like, they were some big-time recruits. He goes, we never had big-time recruits. We just had recruits that got better that stayed.
Right.
Right? He's like, these weren't the 5-stars. They were like, and I think a lot of what Belichick may do is that. Like, would it surprise you if they went out there and got 2- and 3-star recruits that they made into 5-star recruits while also getting, trying to go for Jalen Milroe or at Alabama or Arch Manning at Texas? I'm not saying they're getting those guys, but that's how you build, right? It's like,
but this is
you need
no,
Rodgers
Evan. I'm going to push back on you. That's not where this is going, and it's not going to be because it's
simultaneously going both ways. No, you're wrong.
Well, here's the deal.
It's going to go both ways. Yeah.
Well, Belichick is always known to push and push, get guys to be the best that they can be. But what his big selling point, we saw this when he was on McAfee this week. This is all about, we're going to get you into the pros. You're going to be one and done. We're going to teach and coach you. We're going to get the best of the best because we're going to be better funded. We're going to organize. We're going to get this, and we are going to do it on a 6-month basis, and then you're gone. I don't think this is a build.
But that doesn't preclude. No, Tausch. That does not preclude what I'm saying.
Stop yelling no
if
at
you
me.
think of,
okay.
Well, I'm going to yell no at you because you're wrong. No. You're wrong, Tausch.
Okay.
Think about what he did with New England.
Yeah,
the best thing he did with New England, in addition to Brady, was roster churning at the bottom of the roster and always finding the program developmental people. Lawrence Guy, remember him?
Yeah.
You remember anything he did in Green? You remember anything he did with the Packers? I don't either.
He had a Dunkin' Donuts, didn't he,
the
Jason?
Patriots.
Wasn't he a Dunkin' Donuts guy that you wrote that article about?
No, not Lawrence Guy. Ricky Jean-Francois. Evan, I'm curious how much
what
time.
I'm saying?
I do, and
But
you can be, to Evan's
But
point.
Evan,
you can be both.
Yes,
but you can't now, and this is let me put a bow on this,
yes, you
Evan.
Can.
So, no, hear me out because that's not. This isn't a model where you get 3 years. That bottom of the roster guy that you're building and that you're developing, he is going to go get paid more, and you don't have a 3-year rookie deal. There isn't the rookie deal. It's every portal opening. You then have to, and you think Belichick is going to go kindly with some kid that he has developed, and he comes in and said, well, Alabama's offering me this. If you can match it, Belichick's going to tell him to go kick rocks. That's not going to be the way to do this.
Tausch.
No.
I'm suggesting he's going to find his Bradys and find his Tauschers. Mark, you were not irrelevant to the Badger fan, not to the program. You are not a relevant name until your 5th year, correct?
It's very personal, but yes, I think that's a fair
No,
assessment.
no, Tausch, you're a perfect example. In year 3, are you getting an NIL offer with how you were as a college player until year 5?
Nope.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you can play simultaneously, in your case, of Chris Chambers and Lee Evans that are there and then gone, or Brooks Bollinger, whomever, Ron Dane, whatever it is. And you can still be developed behind the scenes and not be plucked somewhere else. I think what's going to happen here is Bill Belichick, if he stays 5 years, will have a record for most players drafted in a single draft in the history of the NFL draft. Because any player that got playing time for Bill Belichick, not dissimilar to a right tackle from Wisconsin who was there for 5 years for Barry Alvarez, will get drafted in the NFL. If you can make it with Belichick 3 to 5 years, you are a guaranteed NFL draft pick.
That's a selling point that he's going to be using. There's no doubt about that.
Evan, I know I'm not the most opinionated guy at ESPN Wisconsin, but I have had a strong opinion on the Brett Favre, Mark Gastineau thing, and that is that Brett Favre had an opportunity to just be honest, and instead he doubled down on the lie from January of 2002. How have you viewed that story, which has come to life in the last several days after, quite frankly, I hadn't thought about it in forever since I was covering that game in which Brett Favre handed the sack record to Michael Strahan?
Yeah, you know what my reaction was? Before I saw the Twitter thread, my reaction was, I don't know if I've ever seen in my entire life Brett Favre look scared. And I thought in that moment he looked scared. I've never seen him off the field look scared. He didn't even feel scared with all of the stuff with this Mississippi thing, with Jen Sturger, with all these different things on the football field, the Raiders game after his father unfortunately passed away. I've never felt like Favre looked nervous or scared. He looked petrified when Mark Gastineau came up to him. That was my reaction. And I will also say, I've also never seen him take public accountability for anything other than that, which is for that to be the one thing on the Twitter thread that, now he didn't tell the full truth, as you mentioned, but there was some level of public accountability in that I get where he's coming from. I get why I may have cost this guy a lot of money. For Brett Favre, that was accountable. For Mark Tauscher, that was not accountable.
No,
Does that make sense?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay,
If we're grading
so,
on a curve.
Yes. Before we let you go, I have the only NBA guy I can talk to on this show is you. The tournament and how this is played. It's been good, right? It's been good. I think players are engaged. They want to get out to Vegas. Fans, I don't think they've been that engaged. What if whoever wins the in-season tournament gets a draft pick right after the lottery? First-round pick. Bucks go out and win it. They get a first-round pick at the 16th slot. Tell me why it's a bad idea.
Okay, so, yeah, it's one of the worst ideas you've ever pitched, because if that's the case, if I were the players on the team, you try to lose. Why am I working harder to get my replacement? Because you're replacing yourself.
No, you're not. No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. If you're Andre Jackson Jr., who I love, from UConn, hey, let me give everything that I can for the Bucks so they could draft somebody 14 or 15 that's probably going to replace me at the wing position. Why would I do that exactly?
You think Andre Jackson, he's an up-and-coming player, is in the mindset of saying, boy, if they draft some swing kid from Holy Cross, he's going to take my spot? Like, come on, dude. No, that's not how the NBA works.
Let me bring up something more important. Okay, I got to bring up something more important. Tell me if you think this is a good move or a bad move. The other day, I have not gone to the doctor in God knows how long, unfortunately. I scheduled a checkup, and then I scheduled to go to the dentist right after to get a wisdom tooth pulled. I did a back-to-backer knowing the pain was going to be a double whammy. I have blood taken all over me and a tooth pulled first time in my life. I did it back-to-back. Good move, bad move, or should I spread out the pain? Give me a couple of minutes on that.
Good move.
Give
Love
me a
it.
couple
Knock
minutes
it out.
on that.
Hammer it out and be done. Great move.
You like that, Tausch? You're into that?
Yep, I do.
You have more respect for me as a reason. How often do you guys go to the doctor?
Every year.
You try to, yeah.
What?
So I don't understand. I don't understand. Why is this a big deal? Like, what is the correlation to Andre Jackson compared to this?
What, with my tooth?
He changed the
I was
subject.
You're
bored by
going
Andre.
from telling me this is a
Your
terrible
draft day was
idea
boring.
to
It
talking
was
about
boring.
going to the
Yeah, it was boring.
dentist.
Yeah, more people care about the dentist than the NBA Cup than listen to Wilde and Tausch.
All right, thanks for your
I was
time,
bored
Evco.
with that. I
I
was bored.
appreciate you.
No, I was bored. I think that was
Okay.
a terrible topic.
Yeah, it's
It was
great.
a bad
Yeah,
idea.
well, I'm bored with
I
this, so
really
it's time
did
for you to
it.
go. All right, Prize
Yeah,
Picks,
the
America's
The
number one
incisor is
spot.
the
Oh,
Andre
best place to
Jackson
get-
of your mouth.
What was that? Now he's telling me, get out of here. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in award winnings. And Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a chance, not 100 times, not 200 times, 1,000 times your cash. You could run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make the holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get that real money action while watching it. Again, up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. You get it in 30 states, the best place to get that action. Join now because this holiday season, it is Merry Picksmas. Yes, indeed it is. Giving away over $30 million in rewards. Download the app. Use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5. That's right. Download the app today. Use code WI on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run
your
game.
Dentist. Gotta go to the dentist. What the heck was that?
All I would say is that when Tausch has an idea, it doesn't matter what it's about. Even if you're not a big NBA fan listening to our show, you improving upon the NBA Emirates Cup while not hardcore basketball is you being on brand of always looking to improve things. And I would have liked to have heard if he a little more extensive critique of your idea, just because I have no interest in the Emirates Cup. And if they were playing for a first-round pick or something of value for the organization, I'd be more interested. I would also add that Evan, I do think, makes a fair point, because someone could end up losing their job with the team if they win the tournament and get them a first-round pick that they then use on you, who you helped them win the Emirates Cup, and then they replaced you with their first-round pick they got out of the deal. I didn't think his point was completely off base. I did think switching gears to going to the dentist was unexpected.
That was tough. It's as harsh a criticism as we've gotten from Evco in a long time.
We will switch gears to Whoa Nelly. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Madison Weight Loss, the program that I experienced from the middle of August to the middle of October, and I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat simply by changing my diet. And right now, before December 31st is your chance, if you're interested in starting the new year with that weight loss goal that you've had in mind, and you say, that's the time that I want to get going on it, at the start of 2025, lock in right now with Madison Weight Loss before December 31st for their lowest price of the year to be part of the program, almost 20% off. It's a fantastic deal. And you get a free consultation. You meet with the entire team, learn more about the program, schedule that free consultation in person or virtual, MadisonWeightLoss.com. Learn what the program's all about, see if it's right for you, and then lock in that price. You don't have to do it over the holidays. I get it. There's cookies and things going on. You just wait for the start of the new year when you're ready to commit to that plan, and up to almost 20% off if you lock in before December 31st. Check it out, MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Truman Mankowski, Madison La Follette, a Lancer. What does it mean to you to be a Lancer?
It means take pride in what you're doing. Always looking to better yourself, better your team, better others, and just serve back
What do you like about football? What attracted you to the sport? Yeah, you're a big guy. It kind of fits, right?
It was the aggressiveness, and it was also one of the sports my brother did, and I was just really passionate about it.
Your brother, Jackson, and 3 years older, but you got to play with him.
I did.
What kind of lessons did he teach you? I think you said something about him pushing you.
Oh, yeah. It was just do your best at all times. And if you don't do your best, because he's the only person that knew if I was actually trying my absolute best.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
The one thing I learned from Coach Alvarez is the plan to win.
Tune in for the top Badgers conversations every week, featuring special guests with Wisconsin players, coaches, and more.
In my mind, a lot of the alumni mind, kickoff starts now. Everything we do between now and August 30th, 2025, we're determined where we go as a program.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Game Day Men's Health Middleton. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. The holidays are here, and there is no better way to celebrate than with the delicious brandy or whiskey from Door County Distillery. It's the holidays. People are coming over. You're mixing up old fashions. No better way to do it than with the cherry brandy from Door County Distillery, made with local Door County cherries, or the 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey. No matter if you want your brandy old-fashioned or your whiskey old-fashioned, everybody's pleased with Door County Distillery. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Evan Cohen woe-nellied our conversation about Tausch's improvement of the NBA Cup. Now it's time for the real woe-nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocca's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, so speaking of improving games, Beck and I exchange Christmas presents with each other once a week leading up to the holiday from Thanksgiving until Christmas because we're running around seeing our different families on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. We don't really have time to sit down and just do it the two of us. So we exchange gifts leading up to it. And opened one yesterday. It is a new game. It's a combination of Scrabble and Monopoly.
Scrabopoly?
Kinda. I think it's just called Scrabble Monopoly, but I did call it Scrabopoly, so glad we're on the same page there. It's fun to say. So basically, you make words to then move around the board and collect the properties and the money, and I think it's actually the best of both games. It's a fun mashup. My question for you, Tausch, since you're a big game improver, what 2 games would you like to combine into one mega game like Monopoly and Scrabble for Scrabopoly?
I legit have never thought of this in my life, so I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I think something with Clue. I love the game of Clue, and I think there's something there, maybe Clue with the game Sorry, where you can buzz around. Because the thing I don't like about Clue, it takes too long to get in these buildings. Like, I want to be able to guess and gather knowledge. I'm not interested in rolling a 2 and then sitting there and I got Lenny over here in the study getting all this info and I'm rolling like an idiot. I'd rather Like, let's just go ahead and let's start. But I don't know if my mind works that way. My mind works more, how do I get Clue better? How do I get Sorry better? How do I get Monopoly better? Not, how can I juxtapose Monopoly with Jeopardy and play this game? It just doesn't, that's not how my mind works.
I'm sorry, I was reading the YouTube comments.
Oh, boy.
Where Montana Mo says, everyone knows why Belichick's taking the UNC job. His girlfriend is starting her freshman year.
Whoa, Nelly!
Is she at UNC?
I don't think so, no. And I think she's more like in her late 20s. But nevertheless, it made me laugh. Also, can we talk more about going to the dentist instead of combining board games or no?
I was going to ask you if Seattle would be top of the list for NFL road trips of the American cities.
No, it is near the top of mine. I still think San Francisco by a nose. And then New York.
Nashville? Is that one in there?
I've enjoyed trips to Nashville before. Yeah, it's been a long time since I traveled regularly, though, so maybe things have changed.
Vegas?
No, I know this is going to come as a surprise to you. Not a Vegas guy. Not my scene.
I thought last year you said you were a Vegas guy. You wanted to go to see the shows and whatnot.
I enjoyed when we have gone. I enjoyed the shows and I liked eating. I did not like the other aspects and the card collecting. That's still my favorite. I've got them all in my binder right next to my Robin Yount cards. That's it for Whoa Nelly. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, if you need a bath or shower remodel this holiday season, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. Time for Grimes. Jeff Grimes officially Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator. The OC locked in on a balanced attack. He explains more in his sit-down with radio analyst Mark Tauscher, audio courtesy Badger Football.
If you can't run the football, then you become one-dimensional. And so I think that's where it starts, is running the football and establishing an identity that is based on that and a rugged mentality about how you're going to do it. Once you establish that, then the vertical passing game comes to life, and then receivers will get excited about that.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Matt Hamilton here. As a proud Wisconsinite, I'm all about supporting local. And there's nothing more local than Metcalf's Market. Metcalf's Rewards is your key to incredible savings. With thousands of coupons available every week, loyal members enjoy special pricing on select sale items. Plus, it's free to join. And when you sign up in-store using your phone number, new members instantly receive 500 points, equivalent to $5 off your purchase. Visit Metcalf's Market in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or in Wauwatosa today. And start saving with Metcalf's Rewards. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Celebrate the return of the high school basketball season on ESPN Madison with the 608 Basketball Tournament. Featuring the best boys basketball teams and recruits from the Madison area and around the state, the 608 Tournament returns Friday, December 13th and Saturday, December 14th at Madison College. Come experience the best showcase of high school basketball in the Madison area. Purchase tickets today at 608basketball.com. That's 608basketball.com. The 608 Basketball Tournament, December 13th and 14th at Madison College.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Thanks to Evan Cohen. Thanks to Jeff Grimes. Thanks to Badgers radio analyst Mark Tauscher. I am curious. That was a great interview. You did a really good job. I am curious, did we ever find a final answer on Stinky Sneaky Pete's from the holidays?
Yeah, it's
a figment of your imagination.
There's no there. So, no, I don't have anything for you, which is unfortunate because I thought it was a pretty good little yarn. But nothing there.
There was no yarn.
It unspooled quickly. So you have to have thought that it was something, though. That's what prompted the whole thing. There's got to be some...
Jason, I'm aware, but it is what it is. Like, you need to validate. You can't... And I know journalism has gone a certain way, but you can't just run with this. Well, you can't just run with it. It's got to be double and triple sourced.
I understand.
I put the sourcing out there, and it didn't come through.
All right. Well, we say goodbye to Sneaky Pete, and we say hello to you tomorrow, as we'll do it again then. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial free.